Yeah, last. Yeah, welcome back to Woke Plus. I am Weekend Woke, joined by Kev the Great Went and T. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, it's Wednesday, man. It's Wednesday.
If it's Wednesday, it's Woke Plus. That was Kev, that was all right. I don't mind that little microsecond in the beginning.
Okay, well then that's the
saved
answer.
me an extra step. What's up,
It's
Sherman?
It costs an extra $20 a month for that, but
oh no, fuck that then. We're going back to Zoom. we'll get the premium shit during PHiSH tour when we're cranking, and then in the off season we're just gonna go back to Zoom calls. What's up, Savvy? Yeah.
Stay savvy. If it's Wednesday, it's Wook Plus.
Oh man,
I've been trying this for years and they don't like it, but I think it's
that?
a great tagline. If it's Wednesday, it's Wook Plus.
Later, watch the show. And literally 2 minutes ago, I said that exact fucking line. Like, not even like 45 seconds ago, I said that.
All right.
He's not listening. He's waiting to talk.
Yeah.
I had a long day, and then after my long day, I started drinking. So
that adds up. That adds up. Yeah, you came at me in the thread. You're like, I was like, hey, I updated this. You're like, why? And then you like start like yelling at me. And then I was like, I explained myself, and you're like, man,
but did you
seem
see
angry.
what I used? Did you see what I used for the thumbnail?
Oh yeah, but it was cropped wrong.
But do you know what was it? What was it?
I don't know.
It was a picture of Phil Lesh because we didn't do the fucking Wook Club yesterday.
That's why you're in the mood, motherfucker. That's what it is. I knew it. That's what it is. You got left high and dry.
No, me and T talked. Me and T talked. We texted. Actually, I texted him. That's as much as you get out of me, but
yeah, I was impressed. I totally forgot, to be honest with you, that it was that. I thought it was another PHiSH week and it was next week. And I was like, okay, well, we'll do next week. But I don't even remember. Yeah, so it's fine. We'll do it.
I was pissed that I had to miss it because I actually was set to do it, and I was looking forward to actually talking Grateful Dead with you, but I got called in. I'm an important dude. I got responsibilities. What do you want from me?
You're the man with the beanie.
Yeah, well, I mean, apparently.
Well, see, that's also the risk you take when moving it to the afternoon slot like we did. See, so
yeah,
you never, we can't do it
right.
at night.
That was
we could have done it at night.
In the summer, I had more consistent work from home hours and shit. Maybe going into the fall and winter, we'll think about moving it into the weekend or night again. Or we can leave it there and we just have to plan ahead. I don't know.
I think we put it in prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Move it back to night. I think Shermith would like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could do that.
So there's been a lot of stuff that was destroyed by this bitch named Helena. And
it's not what it's named.
One of these things that most hurt me was in Asheville. The Moog Museum is there, which is where they have all the Moog synthesizers. Like it's like where they were built. They have all these old ones. I bet it's gone. I haven't heard.
But have you seen Asheville? It's a freaking lake.
Okay, this is really tough. Kev, speaking of, there's a Moog sitting right here in my bedroom.
Oh, that's
Zach Tenario's. That's the infamous Zach Tenario's Moog that's still in my house.
Yeah, that hurricane / tropical storm did some havoc. I'm gonna throw out there, and Kev pointed out that there are tons of people hurting right now, so this is not a guilt thing. But Malcolm Howard, if you guys don't know, he founded and runs Fans for Equity. Wait, what is it? Fans for Racial Equity. Free. And he's part of FEMA, and honestly, he's just a great guy. We've had him on Look Plus. Like,
nice guy, yes. Always say hi to him. You see him at a show, you say hi.
Yeah, we've probably had him on a dozen or half a dozen times. He lost his CPAP machine in his house and all his shit, and he's like, I hate to say he's underwater, like in a financial sense, because of like that's kind of like a shitty pun, but like so anyway. In the description, I threw a link to his GoFundMe, but there's lots of different ways that you can help out too. If you don't want to help out Malcolm, there's lots of people that need help. But Malcolm's a good guy. Actually, one of the ways,
and there's lots of great people out there. Hood is a food company truck. I'll try to dig up their thing. Check our socials. That are
generally good people, or is it specific to?
No, it's called like Hood Fam Food or something like that, and they do festivals, but they're giving out free food to everyone in cases of water. And there's a bunch of different people. There's one place giving out frozen meals, so if you have to go back to somewhere, you have frozen food that will last a few days.
Well, did you see the thing with JRAD? They got to cancel their show because they were booked to play Asheville this weekend. So tomorrow they are streaming their show in North Carolina, Charlottesville, or no, it's somewhere down there in the Carolinas. But all proceeds are going to go to the recovery effort and to local charities. So that's pretty sick. Right. I like JRAD. I'll probably listen to that anyway, just because. I mean, are you guys so as like old school hardcore like OG Deadheads? What do you think of Jerry? Like as somebody who's like a young dude that like never saw Jerry. Like I like the Dead, but I've never saw Jerry. So like I really enjoy JRAD. Like I think it's fucking really fun to listen to. Are you guys into it, or is it kind of not your cup of tea?
I like JRAD at about $35 to walk in the door.
Kev puts a price on his.
Isn't that probably where he's at? I mean, I don't know. I haven't bought Jerry.
They wanted like 60, 70 for Red Rocks.
Do you know when the last time Kev bought concert tickets was? Probably like, yeah, at least a decade ago. This motherfucker just gets miracled like it's his job, and he's gonna sit here and bitch about $60 tickets.
If it ain't free,
he hasn't bought a ticket since he's had a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So
I really enjoy them every time I see them, and I tell you what, I'm liking them more and more that they've added other artists' songs into the sets. In the beginning, it was all Grateful Dead songs, and it was cool. But I tell you what, my favorite JRAD thing ever was when they did Garcia's Hooter Roll with Howard Wales. They did all the tunes off of that, and had Stuart what's his name, Stuart Bogey. Come out and play saxophone with him, and he's sat in since then. But that was simply fantastic, and none of those songs have ever showed up again.
Yeah, well, they heard you liked it, and they were like, "Well, fuck."
You don't re-listen to things anyway or shows anyway, so.
Right?
But when I'm there, I would love to see Morning and Marion played live. Marin, I always want to add a syllable to it. Morning and Marin, or the DC 205 song is a pretty funky kind of organ groove to it that Marco could get on.
Yeah. I like Russo though. He's a great drummer. Like I like what he does with the catalog, right? It's not just another Dead band.
Further might have been, I don't know. I threw Further up there, Dead and Company hand in hand on who was better. Dead and Company, I think, got better as they went along.
Yeah.
But Further was so fantastic. I mean, Russo and fucking John Kay on guitar doing his Jerry imitation every night, you know?
Yeah. He's good, man. He's really good. Did you guys see this dumb fuck that I have a question for you. So this guy bought a $4,000 guitar that was apparently signed by Taylor Swift.
I can get you one for 3,000. Anybody wants one to smash? I got it.
Just a smash.
It's
and
authentic.
It reminded me of the Bud Light thing where people were buying like a pallet of Bud Light to shoot it with their fucking guns. I was like, you just gave all that money to Anheuser-Busch to like own the libs. And I don't know. First of all, it's like, if you were a Swiftie, would you be upset that somebody did it, or would you kind of laugh at them? And then also, how much fucking money did that guy have to just waste it on that? That seems like
I think it's of who has a bigger package kind of thing. When they're all sitting at the bar later,
like a pissing thing.
I'm the one who got to smash Taylor Swift's guitar. Bud Light's for everyone.
Right?
Yeah, it did it did have like compensating vibes, like you know.
But didn't something come out where it's not actually hers?
No, they taped the signature on it. They taped the signature on a guitar.
Right. So it wasn't even her. So the dude dropped $4,000 to make a statement and smash a guitar that wasn't even actually.
I would bet dollars to donuts that guy drives an F-150.
I drive an F-150. Fuck off. I do. There is a preconceived thing, like people see the truck, but like I mean, it's fucking. If you have a house and do yard work,
dude, you're in construction. Though you need to have that. I mean, the guy who works at fucking this 3 miles up the street at the office where he sits in a cubicle doesn't need an F-150.
Listen. It's not the vehicle. It's the guys that lift it 10 feet in the air and put the fucking flags off the back.
And throw on some Toby Keith, loud as shit.
Yeah. The nuts off the trailer hitch.
But honestly, that doesn't... I hear you, and I'm not trying to disagree with you, because like those guys are definitely... But honestly, that doesn't even bother me, right? Like, live your life and have your style. Like, I'm fucking walking around in tie-dyes. I guarantee you there's people out there judging me. Like, that's fine. Do your thing. It's all this fucking, like, smashing shit and like I don't know, whatever. I don't want to get into it. It's just I knew these guys. I went to school with these guys, and they were awkward and they were uncomfortable, and they got rejected by the pretty girl, and then it turned into this whole personality, and now they're just taking it out on the rest of us because they didn't get fucking asked to the dance or fucking get laid after homecoming. And now the rest of us have to deal with it.
They ended up knocking up Cross-Eyed Mary down by the river.
Yeah. And now the rest of us have to suffer with their insecurities and their big fucking trucks and their smashing Taylor Swift.
I like when Tim brings his canvassing spirit to the show.
Oh, baby, it's a good size.
Hey, he's passionate. He's been promoted. He's earned that. He's moving up the volunteer ladder.
I have a question.
Oh, boy.
What's up, Llama?
What's up, Llama?
How much did the Pink Floyd catalog sell for?
500 million, but it did not include publishing rights. So,
but it did include their likeness too, which made me feel like
their likeness. But Queen got 1.2 billion.
Yeah, which makes me feel like
Pink Floyd has a better catalog than Queen.
Right, I feel like whoever was negotiating that, but it's because they have the split. Who owned it? Do you know? Is it because
they all own what was sold? They all own the publishing rights are mostly Waters.
I was wondering
everything, except Comfortably Numb on the Wall.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about it, but I was wondering if it was because of Waters and Gilmore having having their thing with each other. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, man. Money is a classic for a bank that's totally unaware of what the song's about, I mean.
Yeah, but
open a new checking account today.
But We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You
You're my best friend.
City and
Hallmark is calling about You're My Best Friend.
Under Pressure. Yeah, actually, no, now that I'm thinking about it from a strictly commercial and repurposed, that makes sense. That tracks. Queen's catalog.
Nobody wants to hear The Worms Have Ate in My Brain on their commercial.
If I were Sony, I'd make a dentist commercial with Comfortably Numb and it'd just be That would be fucking great.
Right?
They have to have big plans for it. My nerd is going to come out for a second, but my problem with this is Sony has a really bad track record with other people's IP.
Oh man,
like you look what they do with Spider-Man and shit, and I'm just like, we're gonna get all these fucking the Pink Floyd verse with just all this like just terrible shit. I hope not. I hope they're respectful of it, right?
Oh, I just hope that they release you remember a few years back. All this stuff started popping up on Spotify that were Pink Floyd bootlegs released by Pink Floyd because they were trying to hold on to the copyright because you have to release something.
Mm-hmm.
So they took all these bootlegs from the late 60s, early 70s and released them. And I bet that's all part of the package deal. So Sony could turn around and do a Pink's Picks or something like that and release all those,
Picks.
Yeah. Picks Floyd. Well, no, that would be sick. Or remastered
writing
or
commercials tonight.
Hogan Slogans is back, baby.
Right? Totally. He's got the juice back. We gotta film something here.
I just had this vision in my head of every Doc Ock or whatever the next Venom verse bad guy movie, just with the soundtrack being entirely Pink Floyd. They're just gonna shove it into all their C-list shit everywhere.
You're gonna hear Any Color You Like in every instrumental section of every movie, every background music.
I mean, I guess good for them. I don't know, cash in, why not?
Hey, and you know what? I think Gilmour did it because it frees him up. Now he doesn't feel attached to, he's been fighting with Roger Waters since the final cut, since 1982. Yeah. I mean,
right.
It's time to just break free. And Gilmour's on one side and Waters is on the other side politically completely. So
yeah, they are opposite of each other.
Oil and water, or vinegar and water, maybe. Whoever you want to be vinegar, you can be vinegar.
But it's weird. Is this normal? All right, somebody tell me that knows more than me. But it's not just the catalog; it's the rights to the name. And the
likenesses and the album covers, all that Hypnosis art. Hypnosis was trying to buy it.
Is that normally how these deals are structured? Does somebody own
you can pull out any part you want? I want to keep the artwork, but I will sell you the music.
Right. Well, I guess Pink Floyd specifically, as far as the band name goes, is one of the band names where, right, Queen is I don't know. There's a difference in my mind.
Dark Side of the Moon is the most iconic album cover in rock and roll, and now Sony owns it.
You know how cool I am? I was the guy with the back portraits on my dorm wall. Are you familiar with that poster? Mm-hmm. I love that poster.
I
know you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was a great fucking poster.
That's a great poster.
All right. I don't really have anything else to talk about Floyd. So Billy Strings had a baby. I don't actually think or know if it's a junior, but this seemed like
what the coolest thing about it's a boy. I heard it had a penis. The coolest thing about this whole thing is, he had to run out and he didn't do his renewal fest, the whole festival around him. And yesterday he's refunding everybody their money for the tickets. It doesn't cover your airfare and your hotel, but I think that's huge.
Well, and they still did a show without him, right? But I thought that's exactly. A great move.
People got to enjoy all those guests. It was magical from what I heard without him even. But he's like, since you all paid to come see me and I had to run out, y'all get your money back.
Yeah, it's a solid move. I like that. I like that a lot.
I love him even more now. If I didn't love his songwriting enough, he just seems like one of the greatest guys out there.
Still not the best statement with PHiSH, though. That's a ridiculous statement. All of you were saying, but very solid guy.
Did you see where his fans were donating their refunds to the hurricane relief?
Yes, I did.
Pass it on. That's what I'm talking about. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that shit makes me happy. That's such a better story than some asshole smashing a guitar.
Right? Yes, it is.
Or like most festivals or some festivals we know of that don't refund.
Oh, yeah, they were trying to screw people out of the hotel packages and the whole 9 yards.
Right. They didn't even get to see anything and they got no refund. This you got to see shows and you got the refund.
And they got a refund.
And I watched some of it. Fantastic. I mean, his band is so tight, they would be a mid-sized 2,000-seat band without him.
Yeah. Maybe.
You know, they'd be a Yonder Mountain, a Green Sky Bluegrass, that kind of level.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. You know he's playing on Halloween?
Halloween?
In Baltimore.
Oh.
You should come. Oh, you got kids. You can't come now.
No, I'm definitely not doing Halloween.
You'll be able to go. The Orioles won't be in the World Series.
The Orioles are not in the World Series anymore. No.
I know. I think that was what he was going.
What would you pay for a ticket to that, Kev?
Does he hit the $60 mark?
I don't know. I haven't looked at what tickets are, but I figured somebody'd have a ticket for me.
Right, but what would you pay for that?
For Halloween in Baltimore to get to hang out with a bunch of people I know coming out of town, 50.
Okay, there we go.
He's not gonna pay shit.
There we go. Hey, he would pay 50 though.
He would pay. It's easy to say when he knows he's not going to be paying you shit.
Right.
I tell you, can I just say that I am kicking myself for not going to see God Street, but next year they're playing in DC and Philly. So all of us are going to need to go see God Street because I watched the Friday night show and my God, they sounded like they never missed a beat and they sounded better than a lot of bands that are out there every night playing it. I was amazed at how tight they sounded. Those songs were intricate. God Street didn't write no easy 3-chord rock and roll.
It was great. It's great to see what we were hoping was going to happen. It's so cool to see it all come.
Yeah, watch it all from like talking to them last year and like the conversation about getting back together and talking to Tomo and shit, and now to see this, it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and to see him killing it too. I mean, it's like a really cool revival. Like it's great. So yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm like one of my favorite drummers. He was not really on my radar before, but now I really like him.
And we're getting a lot of other bands. Ominous Sea Pods are recording new music. I mean, some of these older bands are coming back. The guy Prince from Moon Boot Lover, Alan Evans, told me that he had been recording new music with him, and Alan Evans and his brother were the other two people in Moon Boot Lover. So I would love to see some of these older bands that really missed their chance.
Can I ask you a question? And I don't mind either way, and I'm partially just fucking with you, but does this have anything to do with your lineup on All That Jam in the coming weeks?
No, this is all stuff from long before. You started listing bands. I was like, if you want to know, if you would like to know what's coming up tomorrow, I am talking to AC, the keyboard player from Talk.
Nice.
Which is a great band if you don't know them.
I know Talk. So you're going to talk to Talk.
I am going to talk to Talk. It's second keyboard player in a row for me there.
There you go.
I always feel guilty talking to drummers.
You should. You should. Don't lose that.
Don't lose that guilt.
Don't lose that guilt. A-list or drummers, you should feel guilty. Anyone else, no guilt.
It's okay.
But save the drummers for what plus.
So don't drop that I'm having Fishman on.
That's it. I'm out of here. Fuck you guys. I'm sorry to announce what plus is going on the hiatus.
Hey Kev, how what do you think they're gonna do going forward? Like, because isn't it it's like March, right, that they announced shows through?
Yeah. They said they're gonna record a live album. I bet that when we get through with those shows in the spring, they're going to announce an even longer fall tour, maybe even try to do a few California shows.
Well, that's what I was going to say is like Colorado, California in the mix, Midwest.
Like California, you can do 4 shows in a week running from Colorado Springs up to Fort Collins. And then the next
follow
week,
them on tour and fucking do a doc on it.
That's what we're doing. That's why he's asking.
I know that's what but I'm going to pull a Kev and just reiterate the obvious so I could tell everybody it was my idea. Remember how that
God Street Walk.
God Street Walk.
You should do that.
Yeah,
You
that's
should
sweet though. I'm
totally
excited.
follow.
I'm looking forward to more. I hope they do. I'm hoping. I mean, it would be great to see maybe a Jazz Fest New Orleans date in there at some point, or
maybe some new songs.
Maybe some new songs, a new album, like new.
Because Low has never stopped writing. His solo albums, Claiborne Street, is fantastic. Whatever the other one is.
Shit.
Yeah. So.
What? When are they playing in Philly? That's in the spring.
March, I think. I think it's a run of like 6 shows in March.
Yeah,
I'll be down for that.
It's March 5th is what the DC is, and then the night before, March 4th, is Philly, and then the next weekend are 2 New Yorks, and the 4th show of the 4, they're recording the live album.
Every time I hear March 4th, I think of my band director because he was a huge nerd, and like in high school, like the marching band, he's like, today is not only a good day, but it's a sentence, and it'd be like the same every year, the same fucking joke, and I just had a weird relapse when you said that. This is a cool, interesting. I find the Ticketmaster drama really fascinating whenever these different things come up.
The customer's always fucked.
Yeah. So, and I'm curious where you guys are on this because I can't make heads or tails of it if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I saw all right. First, I'll say what's happening.
Yeah.
So, Ticketmaster introduced like 3 or 4 years ago dynamic pricing, right, to combat the aftermarket and shit, and basically on the supply and demand, like the price will go up and down, and it's supposed to help make sure that tickets get in the hands of fans and not in the hands of scalpers.
Because real fans have an extra $1,000 lying around to add to the $50 ticket they were going to buy.
Right. What ends up happening is either A, it's such a hot ticket that the bots get it anyway and still sell it high, or it's not a hot ticket. It sits there until it drops, and then the second it drops, the bots and the scalpers get it, and we're screwed either way.
Yep.
But so Oasis, I guess, announced the 2025 tour, and they were like, yeah, we're not doing that shit. We're just going to hold standard ticket prices. Is that a good move?
It is a good move, but my question is, are they going to have charity platinum? Because PHiSH, I don't think, does the static ticket pricing, but they do charity platinum.
I think platinum is part of the dynamic pricing model. I think that's all part of it.
Because the charity platinum is such a scam because you buy the ticket, they get to donate the money and get a tax break, which you don't get to get.
Right.
But it is slightly better than just regular platinum, which is also a thing, and that's where it's just expensive. Right, I know. I understand where you're coming at. The guy who never buys tickets has a lot of opinions about prices.
I'm aluminum foil. Fucking in a pencil. That's all I got is aluminum foil and a pencil. We're gonna make it work.
Their pre-sale, in order to get qualified, you had to take a quiz.
I've talked about that's a great idea.
And what was the quiz, Llama? Did you take it?
And Mrs. Llama took it, and one of the questions was, when did Oasis last play the U.S.? It was just like 2008. Yeah.
So they broke up, and
it was
started.
Well, no, they broke up in 2009.
And PHiSH started in 2009
because PHiSH started.
Yeah,
that's why
they knew they couldn't compete with PHiSH, so they broke up.
I saw.
Now they're going to try to make a go at it again.
I saw Oasis at Red Rocks before they broke up.
Oh well, that's a story. What's up with that?
That was awesome.
Did they do what's the horny morning glory
with my buddy Holt, who you met in Vegas? Vegas buddy. He's a big Oasis.
Disappeared on me because it was too hot in the arena. He went and stood in the lobby
where the air was blowing through. Where it was like the one place where there was ventilation.
I was like, where'd he go? 2 sets. You never came back.
I guess I didn't realize that they would still be stadium level, like a stadium level act. Like I knew they were big.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh my god.
For sure. Yeah.
So what songs? What are some song titles for Oasis so I can make fun of them later? Just to have a couple song titles.
Don't Look Back in Anger, Champagne Supernova.
Oh, Champagne, the PHiSH did.
Wonderwall.
Wonderwall, yeah.
Oh, I've heard that before. That name.
Like I knew they were big, but I figured they would be like shed big, right? Like not like now, right? I'm not then, but like now I figured it would be like shed
because it's been so long. But see, sometimes they've been gone since 2009, so it's been what 15 years they've been gone, and everybody who was a kid, getting laid listening to
and
them.
They're only
in
doing like 5 or 6 shows.
Well, that's
they
the
did a
biggest
whole
thing
tour,
there,
I
Tim,
think,
right?
Really
They're doing it in certain locations, so like you have to kind of go there. If you're not if they're not playing in your city, you have to go to California or New York or wherever the fuck else. So like it makes sense to play the giant venues and the stadiums. In London, I totally get it because it's they of course can sell out whatever. But yeah,
like
here,
Will said,
sure.
Yeah. Exactly. They think they're as big as the Beatles. Damn, that's a mindset.
That is harsh.
Bigger than Jesus.
And the Beatles think they're bigger than Jesus. Hence, Oasis
did.
Bigger than Jesus.
John Lennon did.
Makes sense.
You see, Paul McCartney played the other night in some EU country, like 20 songs, but he busted out for the benefit of Mr. Kite. Which I thought was such a weird thing to fucking bust out when you have that many songs, I love the song. I think it's great. I have a friend who had a cat named Mr. Kite for years.
I can't believe he's still touring so aggressively. I figured a couple of years ago. Yeah, I saw him a couple of years ago. I was like, that has to be it. But no,
I think when you're a musician, you get to a certain point when you're really old. Did you see Frankie Valli, the videos of him?
Yeah.
They basically wheeled him out on a dolly and stood him up in the middle of the stage, and he just stood there. He's like,
yeah, that's gonna be GD60 with Phil. They're gonna do.
I was just gonna say, it reminded me a lot of Phil.
His kids and his managers are like, let's get as many shows in as we can. Hopefully, he'll drop that on stage. That'll be worth $1 million for the footage.
Yeah, I mean that's He looked old as shit, though. That was rough.
Exactly, Willie. It's
yeah. All right, I got another minor story, but it's interesting enough. Goddard University or college.
Sale fell through. Somebody was trying to buy it, and they couldn't get $250,000 is all they were short. I would love to buy Goddard and make it Wookland.
I was just going to say, like, I go paycheck to paycheck, so I don't know why I feel like this isn't that much. But it feels like $3.2 million, I think is what the deal was for a campus. A whole fucking camp, like, it has like 15 buildings or something in fucking Vermont for only $3 million. Like, there's houses.
Dude,
not in my neighborhood, but
come see where PHiSH started and like let them walk through the cafeteria where they played their first.
You could do that PHiSH University studies course there and just like put it there and like do it there.
Like, there's not a heady, rich ass, successful fan that has an extra 3.2 mil lying around.
Well,
you're invest with them.
What doesn't Mike live right down the street? He's got to have a couple of extra million.
Or Trey, why doesn't Trey just fucking?
Trey's got 80 million, and I'm pretty sure that Mike has 30. Well,
yeah, maybe just do a couple more Sphere shows next year, and you can buy the college and like.
Look at Taboo coming in here with like fucking logic and sound reasoning when we're just trying to be
renovate and maintain. You close down most of it and give the tours in class in little one.
You know what I would envision it as? An artist colony where you get
like a commune.
Wealthy people to give you money, and then you have artists come live there and do their art for 6 months.
Right. Yes. Let's do that. That is what we should. I don't have $3.2 million though, but I love that idea.
All right, everybody go buy a lottery ticket tomorrow.
We only need.
We could probably talk them down to 2.9.
How much is memberships? $3. So we only need 1 million members to be able to afford what college. We're almost there. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Any day now. Any day
now. But yeah, that's interesting.
You know what scares me though is like a private equity firm buys it and raises the whole place, and we've lost that piece of history. And even though it's only our little sliver of the world's history, Goddard is the birthplace of what this channel is about. I mean,
No, I mean it 100% is Game Engine. All of that is birth right there. I feel like it's the board of trustees though, and from what I was reading in the article, and I hope I don't misquote it or whatever, but I definitely got the impression that they're being very protective of it. Like it was not an easy decision to shut the school down. They only had like in 2021 they had like 200 students enroll, right? Like which they
why did they deny me when I tried to apply to do my master's there?
Because it wasn't in 2021. It was probably in their heyday in the 80s when they had
1990. It was 1990.
Yeah, that's why. That was like 30 years ago, and they had a lot more students.
If they had brought me in, I would have been a champion.
Were you going to pay for it, or were you looking for a miracle then too?
I was looking for a miracle.
I wonder. I like this. It was a youth thing.
Scholarships would be plentiful.
Yes. Non-accredited. All right, Will. It's a fucking liberal arts college. Accreditation matters for engineering,
being a paralegal, a nurse,
law, medical, and like only like probably like 20% of majors does accreditation really fucking matter. If you're going to get like basket weaving or music composition, it doesn't matter if it's accredited or not. I imagine. No, you're right. I was gonna say you probably had a better GPA than that, but it wasn't that you weren't smart. It's that you were like not giving a fuck.
I graduated top 10% of my class in high school, but you also have to remember that 1/3
of class has 5 students. It doesn't count.
Yeah,
1/3 of my freshman class did not graduate.
Wow. Were you in like the city?
I went to a school that was about 3 miles from where The Wire was filmed. That's where my high school was. You know the Saeed thing, the guy who killed the Asian chick? That took place at my high school.
Wait, what?
This guy killed this girl, or he didn't.
Podcast
and he
Serial.
was in jail.
His high school was the inspiration for the podcast.
Oh,
that's where I went to high school. Was there?
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
It explains a lot.
I love my girls' kindergarten, by the way, the school district. I'm so lucky because we should have looked into all that before we bought a house.
Did you check
like
the
normal
social
people.
Media of your teachers?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I would check the social media of your teachers because that's what they're teaching your kids.
What? No, they're not. They're teaching them fucking shapes and colors and letters and numbers.
Oh no, lizard people. They're teaching about underground.
There's an agenda. People. If they're teaching about the Smurfs, it's socialism.
I cannot tell you how many people, probably including myself, don't know where you stand because your sarcasm and your humor runs into your serious earnestness. The people are like messaging me and like or commenting on shit. They're like, "Oh, Kev, like a lot of them think you're in like to like the new right and like all this like hardcore fascist shit." And I'm like, "You're like the exact opposite of that, but your tinfoil hat shit just puts you right in there with the cue." Like
your tinfoil hat shit.
I just want everybody to be free. Is all I
thought you were going at like to see if they were like had like an OnlyFans or something, and you know, like to check the. So that's what I thought you were going for.
Right.
Totally. No, I mean, her teacher's awesome. The school district's awesome. We have free lunches, free breakfast, which I didn't know about, which is crazy because I live in Pennsylvania, so it's like I don't know how that happened.
You submit paperwork because my kids got it, but I had to submit paperwork to prove that I didn't make 6 figures.
Yeah. When I was growing up, they had the income-based thing, which was always awkward and like. A couple of years we were inconsistent, right? Like some years we were like dirt poor, and in other years we were like, oh, we're in the money, right? It's a good year, but like so it was but like there were some years we needed, but like none of us would ever do it because it was like embarrassing. You know what I mean? It was just like a bad taste, but like this is great. We don't personally need it, nor do we really use it because she's picky. But it's cool to know that it's there for like her classmates and shit.
And the little one might love it. My younger, she was like every morning, oh, they had this for breakfast. She would tell me all about it.
Baby
at the end of the
eats
day.
like non-fucking stop. She's just
right.
Like
and the older one was like, they only had a donut. I didn't like the donuts they had. I didn't eat. And I'm like, kid, come on, baby.
I want French toast. You make her French toast. I don't want crust. You're like, oh my God.
It's French toast. It's all crust. Just eat it.
Yeah.
You know what my grandmom always said? If you don't like dinner, breakfast is going to be twice as good.
She's been doing better with it, but yeah. Anyway, fun aside.
Our
boy is older.
My oldest was 9 years old before she ate a hamburger.
My wife was 22 years old before she ate a hamburger. And
wow.
She's like, I wonder why you be so picky. I'm like, kettle. Like all of the first I was there for, right? Like we started dating in college. So like 19, 20, 21, around that age. And she'd be like, oh, I've never had a burger. Oh, I've never had ketchup. Oh, I've never, and like just a long list of shit that like everyone had that she never done.
With Katie? Did she hang out with Katie?
Is Katie picky too?
Katie didn't have ketchup until COVID.
Ah. That's weird.
Ketchup. Jeez.
Oh, dude. All right, last quick aside, since we're getting into like personal life tangent. So I make these meatloafs, right, for the week that like the baby eats, and like we have a snack. They're like little cupcake meatloafs. And for months and months, I've been making them with tomato sauce and everything. And my wife got so pissed because I made them out of ketchup. She's like, she didn't realize this. Like, this is the best meatloaf ever. And apparently she hates ketchup. So she was like raving about it. Like, this meatloaf is so good. What did you do different? I told her ketchup fucking hated me.
The sugar. It's the sugar in the ketchup.
Right.
Ketchup is like 60%.
It's like tomato sauce, like is what I usually do. Sugar. Just that with sugar.
So wait, she thought it was delicious, and then you told her it was ketchup, and
then she was like, "Fuck you for like sneaking in the ketchup." But I do like ground turkey and bell pepper, and yeah, it's they're awesome. Man.
Oh, do you do chunks or do you do small? Because nobody wants a big old chunky piece of fucking green pepper in their meatloaf.
No, real tiny, like minced.
Yeah, dice, fine.
Yeah. And then I saute it so they get soft, and then it gets the flavors into it. Put a little Parmesan in with the breadcrumbs to bind it with the eggs.
My babysitter used to make burgers, and she'd stick green peppers in it, like half a green pepper. You know, I was like, what did you cut this once with the knife and then threw it in the pan? What are you doing?
Savvy, I've been doing turkey lately, which sounds like it would be not as good, but it actually holds the moisture better than the beef one.
But it's turkey.
No, but it tastes really fucking good, man. I promise you. But so now I do 2 trays. I've been doing a turkey tray and a pork beef mix. I have not put veal. I've not tried that. That is
veal is the best.
Yeah.
Young cow.
No, but like the pork ones, like I like the flavor of pork, but it's harder. Like they dry out easier. I feel like the turkey, it's just like they hold the moisture. Like it just tastes better, I feel like. But
I feel like veal has to be breaded.
Oh yeah, dude. Veal parm is my shit. That's going back. I haven't had that in years, but growing up in Jersey, that was a staple. Eggplant parm or veal parm were like our back and forth. All right, it's turkey loaf. I'm sorry, Andy. I don't know what to tell you.
Trey turned 60 on the same day that someone had a kid. Is that crazy or what? Is that like
lots of people
some weird cosmic alignment? It's like the through line of the jam band world. You know?
Is it?
Did they name the kid Ernest? Is it Ernest Giuseppe Strings? Because then it would be like a reincarnate thing. I feel like
they named it Donald.
Oh,
they did? No, they didn't. Did they?
No.
Again, you never know with Kev.
You never know with Kev. Could be, could not be. We don't know. Trey looks fucking great. I
don't think they had a name. I don't think I saw a name listed anywhere. And if there is one, someone will tell us. Mr. E. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they had a name. I think they were waiting to see what it was, and now they're thinking about it. And it'll probably have like a 6-name because they want to name all their ancestors. And
that is such a wook thing to do, I feel like.
It is.
Untitled.
There you go.
Untitled.
Nice. You get an A+ there, Sherman.
That's good.
Mike, thank you, Mike, for
always
coming and watching.
Yeah.
Keith Strings. What would be a funny name if Strings was your last name, though? Broken? Like name him Broken or something?
Broken Strings, No Strings.
Dirty.
I don't know.
Dirty String.
Dirty. You can get nicknames like that.
All right. So Trey turned 60, which makes him Gen X or a boomer?
He acts Gen X. I don't actually know the technical breakdown, but he does not.
I think 64 is the cutoff.
We were just talking about this last night. I went out at a company event. We were talking, and I realized all of my staff were not even millennials, and I was like having this like elder moment where I was like, "Oh shit!"
Try being the Gen X guy.
Yeah, but when is Gen X cut off?
Gen X started in 65. Gen X started in 65 and goes to 79, and
yeah,
then
80 is millennial, right? So when was Trey born? When was
64? So Trey's a boomer.
He's fuck.
Him and Paige are boomers, and the other two are Gen X.
See, what's funny is if somebody was born in 80 or 81, they read more Gen X to me than millennial, right?
Oh, yeah. He's definitely on the Gen X side of the line. I mean, that's a fine line there, you know?
Yeah.
Fine line.
Either that or it's a big gray area. 80 is not millennial, so what came after Gen X?
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy because technically it is. But if you were born in 80, that means you graduated high school in the 90s.
In 98.
Right. And if you were born in like 90 and graduated high school in like the fucking like 2010, or I don't know, but like that millennial is a wide range and so much changed in those 20 years.
Millennial seems to indicate that you were born after 2000, but it means you were of age.
No, it doesn't mean you were born after 2000. It means that you came of age with all of the technology and in the new millennium with like Y2K and fucking social media and all that shit.
Right. If you're a millennial, you could have been at Big Cypress, but you probably weren't.
Right. Like I could have been at Big Cypress, but I was like 15 or something, and my mom would have been like, "Fuck you, you're not going to Big Cypress."
Where was Brother John at that moment?
He was seeing PHiSH already, but I don't think he went down there because I think his excuse was poverty. Like I said, we were poor. Like he had already been seeing shows at that time for a couple years. I think 97 was his first show. So, but yeah, we were poor as shit, so he didn't travel for PHiSH that often.
Shermith, generational labels are dumb unless you're Gen X.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree, Kev. Latchkey kids.
So,
you track more as a boomer than Trey does, though.
No, I do not. Just because I'm gray. So,
just to fuck with you.
Our friend Jen from High Times and various other marijuana exploits took a tree to Trey, and her idea was she tweeted, "Everybody write a message, and I'll print them all out and hang them on a tree like leaves." So she took a tree to Trey's condo to be sent up to him with like 50 or 60.
I would have wrote a message for Trey.
Oh, I wrote something fantastic, and
no
put a picture of it up.
This is what the whole setup was for here.
Right.
No, it wasn't actually. I was going to let
what it was for.
I was going to let it go.
It's funny you ask. I actually wrote something. Hey, Kev, why don't you tell us what you wrote?
I don't remember. It was something along the
I don't remember, but let me recite it perfectly.
Well, here I have
something along the lines of your true legacy will lie with the lives you've touched.
I don't remember. Oh wait, here it is.
It was something like
It was longer than that. It had a whole nother clause on the end. It had a whole nother clause attached to it.
Did it have footnotes?
But I have a picture if you want to see.
That's cool.
He already created a banner. It shows up on the bottom. He's like, I don't know. There was something like, yeah.
Oh man. No, but that's
cool,
good for him. He turned 60. He is a true inspiration, I think, to a lot of people. I was talking with some people earlier, and we were talking about, I was making jokes about the straight edge music and jam bands and how the sober living, even the California sober, has become a great place to exist in the jam band community. It doesn't have to be the alcohol or the white powders, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What?
The fact that Trey got sober, he got off the white powders.
I was half listening. I apologize. So
he got off the white powders, right? And
he got off everything, but yeah, the opiates.
People who don't drink, who don't do anything like that, and then there's a subset that smokes some weed. And I don't want to
reveal too much, but I'm pretty sure the powders he were doing is more brownish than white. And also his were pills. But
how much heroin have you done?
Okay. None. I have not.
Okay, so trust me, it's white. It's white. You think it's brown, but it's white. It's feathery as opposed to granular. That's your key. Look for feathery and not granular. But anyway, cutting out the alcohol and all that crap, and even doing nothing completely sober, or
wait. All right, I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to tell you a story later though, because
okay,
my boy Steve-O, rest in peace. All right. We'll talk later.
Tell the Steve-O story. You already started. You got to do it.
No, I don't want to put that shit out on YouTube. I'll talk to you later, though.
All right. Okay.
You know what's crazy to me about the 60 thing, though, is how different.
I did not, Dave. I did not get a new computer.
Fucking Tim Walz last night is also like 60. He looks like he's 20 years older than Trey. Fucking Jerry wasn't even. He was only 53 when. And
Jerry died before he was my age.
Right. It's just crazy to me that you could have Trey who looks one way, and then like Walls that looks like way older, and then Jerry that looks even older.
Dude, why
what?
I like Tim. He seems like a very nice man.
I'm just saying he looks older than Trey by a decade, at least. That's more of a compliment to Trey.
Right.
All right. We'll move on. We'll move on. I'm just saying Trey looks good. That's all I'm saying. PHiSH MSG. We got the announcement.
I'm shocked. I can't believe they did that this year.
Shocking.
What else is there to say?
This would be a way more interesting topic if it doesn't happen every year.
And if you notice, dear viewers, we did not even bother to do a microdose about it.
I was shocked. I was waiting to hear that, and I was like,
I was in the office and T was sleeping, and you know,
shocker. But what isn't ticket prices different? Isn't that what everybody's saying? It was like 150.
Three tiers. There's three tiers.
Okay.
And you have to just put in. You might get the most expensive, which is the floors everyone wants, or you might get section 220, row 20, and you can't see shit.
Wait, so there's no
Ask Llama. Llama knows. Llama, come on in and come talk to us, Llama.
Llama's in. You haven't been hearing the ghost of Llama all night?
I have, but I want him to talk now and tell us.
All right, I just clicked next until it said confirmed, man. I did not pay attention to anything.
Are all 3 nights or all 4 nights?
Make sure you follow us on all socials for more breaking news.
Are they all more expensive, or is it just the one night that's more expensive?
No, I think is New Year's more. I don't know about that. I just saw that there were 3 tiers. The floor, the 100s, and then everything else, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that's how it probably should be.
It has. Well, the last couple, it was you paid the top price. You agreed to pay the top price, and then either got stands or floors. Now they've split the stands into 2 things.
Yeah.
So they're going more regular rock band.
Good. That's a good evolution. 50. Because the 200s in MSG suck balls. I'm sorry. Like the bottom 10 rows are acceptable, I guess. I'm not a seat queen, but like that is a one venue that is worth it if you can afford it to get into the 100s, because it is maybe 50% more expensive, but 1,000% more enjoyable of an experience.
Right.
Why did they build such a suck? Why did they, when they redid that place, did they do it so sucky? Everyone's like, oh, the refurbishing of Madison is so great. No, it wasn't.
Are you looking for an answer other than to fit as many fucking people in as humanly possible to sell as many tickets? Because that's all it was. That's what the Chase Bridge is. That's what the super steep things are. That's why the seats, and like maybe I'm a big guy, so like maybe this doesn't bother other people, but the seats, like you're literally like this, fucking squeezed in there like sardines.
You're like, I hope I have an aisle. I hope I have an aisle. I hope I have an aisle.
Yeah.
I'm like, I pretty much got rid of all my dude friends going in New York because they're like, hey, we should go get seats together. I was like, you are all my size. There's no way we're getting a row. Like, you got to be next to a bunch of like
we need
kids
5
or
people
like
for a
little,
row of 10.
Yeah, I got to go with just all the little petite people, so that way I have a little bit more room. But
yeah, my wife, she only takes half a seat.
The 100 section is far better, but even that is tight as shit. I'm over it, man. I love that venue. It's the venue. I mean, I love the shows I've seen there, and it's the venue I've seen the most PHiSH shows at. And my greatest PHiSH memories of all time have been there, including this past New Year's. But I'm hard pressed to want to go back there. It is such an expensive, just draining fucking experience. The whole thing is, I don't know. I do like the artwork though. It has this like garbage pail.
Really building up my first experience.
You'll love it.
You'll love it.
Less going to Dick's for 4 days than I did going to New York for 4 days, and I drove to New York and flew to Denver.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not.
Yeah, Tyler's on to something though. The Chase Bridge is dope for a couple of reasons.
I never got on there.
No, it's cool.
Loves me.
Well, let me tell you why it's cool, and then you could just feel, oh god, because you don't
I can feel
tickets.
even worse.
We don't feel we have. Put away your tiny violin. We've already established you don't buy tickets, so nobody feels bad for you. You're like, oh, my free miracles to New York. No, Chase is dope because there's a bench, like a table, high top. In the back, there's high tops, but then there's like along the rail, there's a place for your drinks, and you can like put your coats and shit under it. Awesome. There's also tons of room for dancing up there. Right, like everywhere, it's always undersold, and there's plenty of space. And
Can
it's
you blow
really
lines
cool
on the table.
You could, yeah, if you were into that kind of thing.
If
but
you
also,
California sober.
The lights going from the center, what do you call that thing? Like pylon, like screen thing, out creates this whole like effect. And being on top of that, it's the only place in the venue that you can like look down onto the top of all of the lights, and it looks phenomenal. Like it is such a cool effect. Sound is, spotty, but I mean, it's not as bad as being on the rail. It's better sound than being on the rails. So I am a big fan of the Chase Bridge. Actually, if I go back, that's what I'm going to probably try to go to.
I think you can blow lines anywhere you want if you really want.
See, we brought up Powders before. Now Kev's on a single track.
I ever tell you about the time I was at BB King's in New York? I'll have to tell you about that sometime.
Yeah, I'll tell you a great thing about the Troubadour last night is the upstairs bathroom that is a 1 in and 1 out has little table in a little area that's kind of off to the side. So you don't have to do your cocaine on the sink or the toilet. There's like an actual little table in there. And that's like, I was like in there taking minutes. I was like, oh, this is so nice of them to have like a coke table.
You know what? With the advent of cell phones, you really don't need any kind of table anymore if you have a steady hand.
What'd you think about the show last night, Steve?
I have thoughts.
Let's hear them. War Pigs, man. War Pigs was huge. I saw the video.
I put an entire thing on the set list for you to share your
Will Forte singing War Pigs. I did not have that on my guest cover spot idea, but look, that venue is awesome. You could see anybody there and it's so much fun. So that aside, it was good. I don't know how they play bigger venues. Kevin and I were talking this before the show and stuff. Like I feel like they're like Panic, basically, like a Wiltern, the Greek, like that's where they belong and those kind of things. And then even lesser, like smaller venues from there that they can
Anthem in DC or something where they're playing,
right?
That kind of thing.
I just don't see how they hit the next level of playing an MSG or something like that. I don't know. Their meteoric rise over COVID was so good for them because it like blew them through like 2 levels of where they should have like kind of tried to tear up from, and they just kind of ended up in this level that I don't think they really. I don't know. They just kind of got there. Their marketing is still brilliant, and what they do around their shit, I love. Like I still love all of that.
That Mexico thing. That Mexico thing is the best thing I've seen advertised out of Mexico. I mean, PHiSH, it's just them. I love PHiSH, but I'm not going to go to Mexico and get a passport. I look at that thing with Goose. If they weren't the headliners and you put an Humphreys up there or a Disco Biscuits or a Mel and the rest of that lineup, I'd be like, I can come up with a couple thousand for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I think seeing them on the beach would be all, like we were saying earlier, like that's.
Did I trash Goose?
They'd be awesome up there. Like that would be fun as hell, I think. I don't know. There's still a few. The jams are just a little. The covers are fun as hell because I love covers when bands do covers. Like I'm always a big fan of that, and you never know what you're gonna get.
Sinnerman, they do a good job with Sinnerman.
It was great. It was great.
I just don't like the guy's voice.
I just don't like I don't like the guitar sound. I don't like the jam, like the rise in the jam, the like it just there's something tonal about it that I just don't get into with the jam. Like I mean, but I'm so glad
it's the guitar is tinny, it's thin.
Yeah, a little bit too much for me, but it's fine. Like it was a fun as hell show. It was a great night. I'm glad I finally got to see them live. I'd probably see them again.
And they did ship of food.
Yeah,
for the docks shutting down.
For the dogs, right? Kev was like, it was a very political show. It was a fire charge political show. War Pigs, Sinnerman.
Oh, there was a lot. Yeah, they were throwing shade out at everyone.
There was a lot of it was a
maybe
they
grew a set. They grew a set playing a place that small.
Right? Like it felt very like Rage Against the Machine set, like very like set up. It was good. It was fun.
I'm glad you got to go, and that was your first Goose show, right?
Yeah, I'm glad we got lucky and scoring those tickets and getting able to see them at that venue was really special. I'll remember that. So that's
you don't need to go see him again. You don't need to go see him again.
I would though. Like it's fun. Like I don't know. I think to your point, it would be fun to see them with other bands, so not just them. And like if it was like that kind of setting, I could handle better. But yeah, I don't know. I get why people like them. Their fans were kind of, again, it was a weird crowd because of the thing, but it's like,
do you reckon you meet anybody?
Assholes.
Do you know any Twitter faces?
Ran into a few Twitter folk that said hello and, watched the channel and shit.
Hey, I know you. You have a Simpsons Abby. I know you.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me to have a strong opinion of them at this point. I don't understand the like hardcore hate we see, but I also don't understand the hardcore like fandom. Like for me, they're fine.
They're fine. Yeah, that's just it. They're fine.
Whatever.
I don't care. I don't care if you love them, and I don't really care if you hate them. Like they're fine. They're
right.
Yeah.
I might get shot for this, but I feel like Goose is what you do when you have a midlife crisis.
Well, I think you said it
better.
Well,
if you're fucking 40 or 50, but there's like also a large contingent of their fan base that are actually like they're not PHiSH fans that transplanted. They're just Goose fans, right?
Really? And Kel, I think
there's
you
like
said
a
it best
of it
when you said they're like a boy band jam band.
Oh, they're the first. Yeah, they're the first jam band boy band.
That's kind of how it feels. It kind of is how some of the songs and like the jammies feel. Like it's just kind of in that zone.
They've been curated. How about that, Tim? They've been curated. All of a sudden Ben got kicked out. If they weren't playing the venues they were,
such tinfoil hat shit tonight. You are all over the fuck. All right, go on. Explain to me what you're trying to say.
I'm saying that they made a deal with somebody who said, I'm going to manage you and I'm going to take you to the top. And they said, okay, we'll do whatever you want.
That's how fucking the music industry works. Why even have representation and management if that's, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a manager that says, I'm going to keep you in theaters for the rest of your career. Yeah, I want one of those managers.
Yeah,
one
but
of those
very few people get the manager or the representation or the people they're working with that they got. Most people don't get that because they don't have the contacts or anything else.
They obviously had enough talent to have doors open. I'm not denying that they have had plenty of doors open for them, but a lot of bands do, and they can't step through.
You know when their jump the shark moment was? Their jump the shark moment.
When did you decide their jump the shark moment was?
When they played on top of that building in New York City over COVID.
Right.
That was their jump the shark moment. All of a sudden, they were big enough to play on top of Radio City or whatever it was. Something like that.
You know, PHiSH did that.
No, this was like on the roof of some building. And I will throw a shout out to Greg Knight for that because he was working with them a lot at that point. And I love Greg. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. We got the stink eye.
I hate when you do this shit to me, Kev.
What?
I don't fucking care about Goose, but you come out and you say outlandish shit and make me have to defend the fucking band that I don't even care about just because you're saying some crazy wild ass shit. And then I look like I'm a fucking Goose fan, but I don't give a fuck about Goose. But I do recognize that the shit you're saying is just so fucking out there that I feel like I have to say something about it.
That you have to fact check him because
I have to fact check you. Like
the last time.
And Ben was not fucking a great drummer. That was a good move. I'm sorry people were butthurt about it, but the new drummer...
But are you going to do that if you're pling 500-person bars?
They're not playing 500-person bars.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
He was holding back. I personally think he was holding back their potential. I think that they are better now with the new drummer.
Okay.
Maybe got that.
And with that, we'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think about Ben and Goose and whatever else we talked about.
And help Malcolm. Click the link.
Yeah,
we
check the
love
link
you
in the
guys.
description.
MC Roach. Wow, that ending is